Hello, my friends. Today we are going to be talking about the learning target for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week. So everything that we cover in this video today, you are going to apply tomorrow and the next day. For the next 3 days, we are going to be giving and receiving peer feedback. What that means is you are going to have a peer feedback form that you use to give feedback to another person in the class. So if I was in a group with Mrs. Cronin and Miss Gomez, we would have our 3 papers. We would swap them around and say I got Mrs. Cronin's paper. The feedback that I write down on this form would not be about my work. It would be about Mrs. Cronin's, and then it would be about Mrs. Gomez's the next day. So hopefully that makes sense. I will go into more detail about it as we go through the slides. What we want to do is also go over the rubric that you are using to help you give that feedback. So on slide 8, you'll just see the learning target. On slide 9 is where you are going to see this video. Slide 10 is the rubric, and this is what we as your teachers are going to use to grade. So if you are wondering, when we look at your papers, how are we grading them? This is it. You have a you did it column, which is the best possible score. You have a good work, which is like on grade level expectations, good job. You have not there yet, so there's room for improvement. This is likely something that you might see like in the rough draft stages. So that's why we do peer feedback. And then you also have the needed more effort, which is us just basically being able to tell you there is room for more improvement in this area than maybe in others. So you are going to be going through 3 people's papers, 1 each day, looking for organization, evidence and supporting details, language and sentence structure, sources, and writing conventions. So when you go through organization, you want to see that the paragraphs are written strongly. They follow the format of the organizers that we have practiced last week and this week when we were making our rough drafts, and that they use transition words effectively. In the prompts in your rough draft, when you were just drafting each of your paragraphs, it would say add a transition word here. If you see transition words, that shows you that they're effectively transitioning their reader's mind from one topic to the next. So that's what effectively means. For evidence and supporting details, it says writing contains relevant, which means on topic, accurate information and details. You're going to have accurate information and details if you're pulling from sources that are credible, like books that you found on the topic, or like when you looked up things on Epic, or if you had a book at home, you may have found a video done by National Geographic, something like that, or a research-based article. So if you see that their writing is on topic and provides accurate information, that would be where you would score them a 4 or a 3 for doing a good job of presenting that information accurately. Next, you're going to move to language and sentence structure. So that means clearly expressed sentences strongly convey meaning. Writing contains varied sentence structures. Maybe there's some sentences that are only 3 to 4 words long, but then we have other sentences that are longer and more complete. That helps the reader not just get in a super brain fog where they're reading something that just repeats over and over and over again and there's no variety. So if you notice that their writing is very easy to read and there's varied sentence structures, that's where you would score them there. Sources, it says 3 or more sources have been used and cited correctly. To look at sources, you would want to see their works cited page and see if they have those 3 sources or if they are missing one. For writing conventions, it says writing contains a few or no errors in spelling, capitalization, punctuation, and use of complete sentences. So that is where you will score them. If there are some errors, you would give them a 3. If there are several errors, you would give them a 2. And if there are a lot of errors that make it difficult for you to read, you would give them a 1. On slide 11, we have the peer feedback form. It says in the space below, you are going to fill out a peer feedback form. This means this is about someone else's writing, not yours. When you are done, you are going to send this to them via Canvas Messenger. So you can do a couple of different things. You can take a screenshot of this and send it to them in Canvas Messenger. You can send them the file in Canvas Messenger. I would suggest not doing that only because it's a large file and really they only need this form from you, but I will let you make that decision. My strong suggestion would be taking a snip, either using snipping tool or taking a screen capture, saving the image, and then sending it to them. And then, so you'll put the name of the peer here. You're going to write a compliment where it says the best thing about this essay, things about this essay are, and you could say anything. You could talk about their subtopics being really engaging. You could talk about the formatting looking really nice. You could talk about whatever you want to hear, but give them a couple of compliments. It says, looking at your sentences, I noticed that. So is there a variety of sentences or are they missing that? Is that something they could still work on? Next, it says, looking at your sentences, I notice, oh, whoops, I need to fix that. I apologize. I'll take off this extra box. Good thing that I'm making this video and I see it now. The next box is your introduction either is strong or could be stronger because. So if you want to make sure that in the introduction they have an attention grabber and they briefly talk about the main topic or thesis, you would want to put that here. So you can either highlight is strong, or you can highlight could be stronger because, and then make sure you give them that feedback. Like, I didn't see an attention grabber, or I'm unclear what your main idea of writing was. You could put that here. Organization, same thing in this box. You're just going to either say the organization was strong or it could be stronger. So was it formatted well? Did they stay on topic correct, or, consistently? An interesting part that stood out to me, this box right here, that could be a fun fact that maybe they introduce anything like that. Something I'd like to know more about is, and this is not necessarily something that when they get this peer feedback form, they need to then look at this and definitely include it in their writing, because maybe it doesn't pertain to any of their 3 subtopics, but if it makes you think of something that you want to know more about, that's a really good sign for the writer, because that means that you're thinking more deeply about what they're saying, which shows that you're engaged with the writing. So anything that you think you want to know more about, you can put in this box. And then lastly, it says, something I'd like to know more about is, and that's like a continued box. So since these boxes are kind of small, you think of something else, you can just continue that in this box. I did try to make the font a size 10 for all the boxes, but when I went in here, it was really easy for me to write 3 or 4 points in this box, and you don't have to make them complete sentences in these smaller sections, but if you run out of room, another option that you could do is to right click and say duplicate slide. If you do that, it'll pop up right here. You can go to slide 12 and you can continue filling it out on this page if you need to do that. Then you'll do your Tuesday assessment. It looks the exact same for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So Tuesday, I would do Mrs. Cronin's. Wednesday, I would do Miss Gomez. And then maybe on Thursday, I would find another teacher or another friend for you guys that I wanted to do peer feedback. So every morning during our morning meeting, I will tell you who you are going to be peer assessing. So you don't have to find these people. I will help you do that each day. And that will be part of your grade, is that assessment. So taking responsibility not only for your writing, but the thoughtfulness you put into other people's writing. And since this is your only task for 3 different days, the expectation is that you take this seriously, you work really hard, you give really good constructive feedback, because there's no reading today, there's no writing of your own today. It is just you spending some quality time with somebody else's paper, making suggestions. So you're like, how am I going to see this person's paper? When I give you your groups on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for next week, you are going to Canvas message those people your essay, and then they will give you theirs. And then you're not going to actually write anything on their paper. You're not going to make edits. You're just going to give the feedback on this form, and then they can make the edits after reading it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, and we would be happy to help you.